Hardcore Pawn was a reality TV series that chronicled the day-to-day activities of the pawn shop and broker entitled American Jewelry and Loan, owned and operated by the Gold family, and located in Detroit, Michigan, USA. The series was produced by Zodiac USA and Richard Dominic Productions, and premiered in August 2010 to over 2 million viewers, making it the most watched series premiere on truTV. The show's format is relatively similar to that of Pawn Stars. Various people arrive at the pawn shop, intending to sell unique or antique items. After running for 9 seasons, the show was cancelled in April 2015. The third-generation pawnbroker and businessman Leslie Les Gold opened American Jewelry and Loan in 1978 in the Greenlight Shopping Center on 8 Mile Road in Oak Park, later moving to Detroit's 8 Mile Corridor. The shop provides customers with short-term pawn loans with moderate interest rates and storage fees, but is also a premier pawn shop where customers can sell or purchase various items. Besides Detroit, Les also has stores in locations such as Pontiac, Hazel Park, Southgate, and Lincoln Park, Michigan. The show's cast includes several Gold family members and other workers of the American Jewelry and Loan. Those are Leslie, Seth, and Lily Gold, Ashley Gold Broad, Karen Mitchell, Bobby Yanietz, Byron, Hook, Joe, Felix, Rich Pyle, Jeff, Robbo, Darren McCarthy, Brian Cranston, Nikki, Amber, and Christina. However, over the show's 9-season run, several members left the show or were fired from the shop, such as Christina and Joe, while Felix's departure was never addressed in the series. Who is Leslie Les Gold? Leslie is also a TV star, media personality, and author. He was born in Detroit on the 20th of June 1950 to Jewish parents. His grandfather was a pawnbroker and the owner of the company Sam's Loans in Detroit, which later went under, but where Les made his first sale at the age of 7. He later dipped his toes in business when he was 12, when he began buying pizzas and reselling them to fellow students at Hebrew School. After opening a shop in 1978, he proved his ingenuity and knack for negotiating by successfully running a business. Following the rise of the Hardcore Pawn series, in June 2013, he published his autobiography entitled For What It's Worth, Business Wisdom from a Pawnbroker, which tells Les' story of how he built a successful business, his personal experience tackling the challenges with details, and advice for readers. It was also meant to incite the readers to think like a pawnbroker in any field. Promoting his book, Les appeared in the ABC Good Morning America and talked about 3 simple steps to successful negotiation. Regarding his personal life, he's been married to Lily since 1975, with whom he's welcomed 2 children, Seth and Ashley. Since Les opened the store, Lily has worked as an American Jewelry and Loan office manager, but only appeared a couple of times during the first season, and then went under the radar. Son Seth is a TV star, producer, writer, and motivational speaker, who also co-owns the pawn shop with his father and sister, Ashley. After graduating from the University of Michigan, he joined his father's business, handling the store's marketing division. While in the show, he disclosed that if it weren't for him, the shop's only advertising would be an ad in the Yellow Pages. Ashley Gold holds a bachelor's degree in business administration from Michigan State University. She has also had a diamond certification from the Gemological Institute of America, which explains why she was the head of the jewelry department in the shop. The rivalry between Ashley and Seth is a very common element of the show. After the 9th season of Hardcore Pawn, the cable channel truTV chose not to order and film any more episodes, as the network changed its direction, wanted to focus more on comedy programs, and Hardcore Pawn didn't relate to that schedule. Furthermore, no other networks were interested in continuing the series, so the production was officially halted in 2014. Pawn shops are a hot zone when it comes to taking security measures, but it's still not uncommon to see a few amateur thieves try their luck every now and again. However, your employees naturally are the last people you would suspect of such a thing, especially your security personnel, who was supposed to protect you from such incidents. In 2013, during the 6th season finale, Joe Shannon was arrested for theft after police were brought in and shown several tapes of Joe stealing jewelry pieces off Jeff's desk on multiple occasions. After Ashley and Les escorted him to the main room where the police officers were waiting, Joe admitted to his wrongdoings and was subsequently arrested. Joe's stealing and arrest was a twist no one saw coming, and according to statements of series viewers, Joe was one of the most popular characters in the show, so it must have been a shock to see him depart on such terms. In the 7th season, they introduced a new head of security called Byron. Unfortunately, Joe was not the only employee to engage in theft. During Season 4, a new jewelry counter employee named Teresa attempted a similar swindle. Even though Ashley hired her, there was some bad blood between the two, and Teresa didn't last an episode before she was caught taking items out of storage and placing them online for sale. So naturally, found herself in hot water after Les caught her pawning fake items under her name and taking the money for them. In the episode, heartbroken Les said, "Christina has worked for me for 7 years. I hired her, I trained her, I even treated her like family. And this is how I get paid back? Can't trust anybody, can you?" Apparently, she'd been stealing for a year and took over $1,000 from the pawn shop. Christina was escorted off the property in handcuffs. Hardcore fans remember the longtime store manager and friend Rich Pyle for his lovable character, sense of humor, and eccentric hairstyle. Others might know him for his abrupt departure from the show after a melodramatic ending in season 5. Rich worked in Les's shop for nearly 25 years. On this particular day, Rich was in a bad mood, and after a couple of slip-ups, Les invited him for a chat and disclosed, "I told everybody, the next person that fucks up is gonna be fired. You put me in a position that you are the next to go. If I don't go forward with the things that I threatened everybody with, nobody will take me seriously. You were on the floor doing nothing." However, a fan's theory circulated that Rich was allegedly fired because he became the star of the show and shop, upstaging Les, Ashley, and Seth. Despite this inconvenience, Rich got back on his feet relatively quickly after National Geographic asked him to star in the reality show called Meltdown. Talking to a media outlet, Rich said, "I decided to take it on the road and find things. Everybody's doing these gold-selling parties now, so I decided to find a new twist on that." After the enormous success of the reality series Pawn Stars, it wasn't a surprise that many tried to emulate the show's concept, including Hardcore Pawn, which, according to several critics, is a blatant copy of the Pawn Stars, with some differences. Both shows chronicle the activities of pawn shops. However, Pawn Stars has almost a didactic element, as the show's cast provides exciting information regarding some historical, social, or cultural events and items. Hardcore Pawn, on the other hand, focuses heavily on controversy, scandal, and sensationalism, with myriad instances of verbal and physical altercations to boost the show's popularity. Additionally, the shows have different clientele and pursue differing items when buying or selling. In 2012, Les talked to a radio host who asked him about the relationship with the cast of Pawn Stars, and he mentioned the feud. Reportedly, Les wanted to collaborate with Pawn Stars while staying in Vegas, but was harshly ignored. Les disclosed, "We went there once, called them saying that we were coming, and they never waited for us. I think they're scared of us. We're better than they are, and more fit." Probably one of the most watched and remembered moments of the show was when Les bought Dr. Jack Kevorkian's euthanasia van, used as a mobile office for assisted suicides in the 90s. If you aren't familiar with Dr. Kevorkian, he was a pathologist and euthanasia proponent known as Dr. Death, who advocated for the patient's right to die by physician-assisted suicide. Operating his medically equipped white 1969 Volkswagen microbus, he assisted in over 130 suicides, making headlines all over the US. Les bought the van for $20,000, even though it was heavily rusted out and dysfunctional. The van owner provided the paperwork, which revealed that Dr. Kevorkian sold it in 1997 for $150 to a parts yard. Les said that he later sold it to Zach Bagan of Travel Channel's Ghost Adventures for $32,500. As it seems, drama and illicit activities were frequent elements in the show. For example, during the show's 8th season, the Gold family was caught in a controversy regarding stolen art worth over $1 million. Two individuals, Tony and Dina, came to the pawn shop with the intention of selling the paintings without the owner's knowledge. For some reason, the two told the owner that they were family friends with Les, and he offered them a good deal on the art pieces. The owner called Les's office and disclosed the information, while Les, Ashley, and Seth listened in shock. Additionally, Tony and Dina tried to con the owner by reporting a lesser amount for the paintings than that offered by Les. Compared to other reality shows, Hardcore Pawn probably received the most criticism for being scripted and fake. Not only that they portrayed daily activities as overly dramatic, but the Gold family was also accused of poor acting and exaggerating the reactions and behavior. Even though many viewers still think of the show with fond memories, others are convinced that most of the altercations and the employees' run-ins with law were staged or unauthentic. Contrary to the public's opinion, Les swore that the show wasn't scripted. Given it was a popular show, it attracted a lot of customers who played up to gain 50 minutes of fame by causing problems in the shop. This was not the only issue with the show. Reportedly, many resented how Detroit customers were portrayed, especially African Americans, as hair triggers, aggressive, and uncultured. Additionally, most of the scenes of unpleasant experiences with customers were heavily edited so that the customers appeared silly, peculiar, and stereotypical. After the series concluded, Ashley left the pawn shop, leaving it to her brother and father. It initially raised questions from fans who speculated that she left due to ongoing clashes with her brother. In fact, Ashley broke out on her own and launched an online jewelry pawning business. Additionally, starting a podcast. Ashley revealed, "It's true, I left the pawn shop. This is my thing now. I'm the pawn chick. I was born and raised in a pawn shop, so I know jewelry. Everyone has always seen the rough and tumble side of me, but now people will see a new side of me." In her words, she also left the pawn shop due to health issues and to focus on her marriage and children, disclosing, "There's not a lot of women in the pawn shop industry, so I'm sure I always stood out in that sense." In 2019, several media outlets noted that Les had filed for bankruptcy. However, upon further investigation, it proved to be a hoax, and they still operate several shops in Michigan. Given that Les has been running the shop since the late 1970s, it's believed that his wealth is in the range of $5 million. Seth's net worth is estimated at $1 million, similar to his sister's. So, is there ever a dull moment in the pawn business? Not according to what you saw and heard in Hardcore Pawn.
Thank you for spending some time with us. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpick these videos which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question in the comments below. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.